Fortnite's storyline in February has been insane as we have started seeing the Seven officially return to strike back against the Dark Voyager. The Dark Voyager is slowly rebuilding the Zero Point. The Order and the Visitor from another reality are working together with Hope and Jones to stop the Dark Voyager. The Ice King has returned, but what are his intentions? We've got a lot to talk about and more regarding the storyline for the month of February, so let's begin. During the month of January, we saw the Dark Voyager open a golden rift into the sky to a different reality. The Dark Voyager entered the rift and a few days later returned to the island with a Zero Point shard. This is one of the biggest Zero Point shards we have seen so far, being about almost a quarter of the Zero Point. The Dark Voyager watched the Zero Point slowly exit his ship, which we learned is named the Dark Harvester, and placing it right next to the Zero Point shard we collected from Chapter 6. The Dark Voyager should be repeating this process 3 more times, as there are 4 realities leaked that we will see appear in the Golden Rift. The first one we saw was green, and now we have pink, blue, and a golden reality. I suspect one of these realities will play a bigger role leading into next season. Maybe it will rift in our next antagonist, heroes, or locations for some map changes next season. The Order was captured by the Dark Voyager when she was sneaking around Lethal Labs, and in our first official storyline quest for this season, we were tasked with freeing the Order from her cell.
Your island is in danger. You can call me the Order. I can help you deal with the Dark Voyager. But first, I need your help. Barrier is blocking my ability to rift out. Get me a keycard. I spotted a blue-haired girl sneaking around down here. She might have gotten her hands on one.
The Order tells us she spotted a blue-haired girl down with her, and while some may think it's Hope, it turned out to be Karina, who had taken a keycard from Lethal Labs that we would need to free the Order. So after tagging Human Bill or Bigfoot for Karina, she would then offer us the keycard for a small price of 300 gold. After getting the keycard and opening up the barrier, the Order was able to rift out of her cell.
Well done. My armor's rift tech is back online. Thank you. I'll be in touch. Until then, stay safe.
And after freeing the Order, the Dark Voyager had his ship set to attack mode, eliminating players who attacked his ship. The Dark Voyager is clearly furious that one of the members of the Seven has gotten away, and he might start sending more of his minions to find the Order. In our next set of storyline quests, we meet up with the Order near a classified canyon. She tells us that she's going to build a beacon to bring back whatever members of the Seven are left.
This Dark Voyager is dangerous. We don't know what he's planning to do with the Zero Point shards. We need to gather the Seven, or what's left of us. To do that, we need to work together.
She sends us out to gather materials based on blueprints of the beacon the scientists had made for emergencies like this one.
When I land, get any of the other 7 members on my comms. Some of us have fallen. This beacon will reach whoever's left.
After placing the beacon near the Battlewood sign, the Order tells us the Seven will stand against the Dark Voyager and stop his plans.
Good work. I don't know who will answer this call, but soon enough, the Seven will stand against the Dark Voyager. Whatever he's planning, we've got to stop it.
When asking the Order about the Seven, she says that they are scattered and others are lost, but she hopes that most of the Seven will stand. When asking about the Zero Point, the Order says she can't believe the Zero Point has been fragmented, though interestingly she says it might have been safer that way since all of the Zero Point's power in one person's hands would be disastrous. That's why the Order needs to stop the Dark Voyager, because if the Dark Voyager has all that power, he could end the Omniverse for the last reality. In some weekly quests from Jones, he has us prepare for an upcoming battle, and one of these quests required us to clear a landing site for new allies. The landing site is also near the Order's meteorite, and this would be where the Visitor lands. A week later, a red rift appeared in the sky, and in that same week in the OG island, the Ice King with a brand new design unleashed the ice storm onto the island. Fortnite also released a short that showed us the Dark Voyager's POV of the Ice Storm event, hinting at the fact that the Dark Voyager and the Ice King may be forming an alliance. On Thursday the 19th at 6 p.m. EST, the visitor Reality Unknown made his arrival to Reality 266. During the event, the visitor's rocket seemed to have been malfunctioning, as he almost hit the diamond at Sandy Strip before rifting himself out. The visitor landed his ship at the landing site that Jones had told us to clear up a week before. A few minutes later, the visitor would appear and give us our next storyline quest.
Looper, you need to speak to the Order. She's stubbornly pursuing the Dark Voyager. Alone. In my reality, her sister was the impetuous one.
I can hear you, Viz, and I am fine. Looper, disregard the visitor. This work is necessary. Over and out.
The visitor tells us that the Order is on a relentless quest to stop the Dark Voyager, and the visitor tells us to help her, but the Order wants to ignore the visitor and gives us quests to distract the Dark Voyager. Before moving to the quest, we can ask the visitor 3 questions. The first is about the Dark Voyager. He says he has pursued the Dark Voyager for a long time, and every reality the Voyager has visited, he has left in stardust. The visitor doesn't know what to do to stop him, but he does not relish it. When asking about the Seven, the visitor has read the logs and knows what the Seven of this reality attempted to do. I assume he means Reality 0, but maybe the Seven did something in Reality 266. This would connect back to what the Order said back in December in her audio logs when she said this reality feels familiar to her. Perhaps Reality 266 deserves its own theory at some point. The visitor continues and says he knows they freed the 0 point, but they left it exposed to the last reality. Their actions had good intentions, but had disastrous consequences. Will the Seven be remembered as heroes or fools? When asking about the 0 point, the visitor says the Seven did not fully understand the power of the 0 point. Even one shard can give miracles or devastation, which we saw in the hands of the Dark Presence, led to the near destruction of Reality 783. If the 0 point is whole, this visitor doesn't know what the Dark Voyager plans to do, so that's when we come in. Moving on to our first quest, the Order requires us to use these stealth splashes to hide from the Dark Voyager.
If you're so concerned, Viz, you could join me.
Bad ideas don't improve themselves by propagating. We don't know what the Dark Voyager is capable of.
And we won't know until we do some recon. Over and out.
After completing this task, the Order offers the visitor to work with her, but he thinks that's a bad idea. The Order sends us to do a recon at Classified Canyon or Lethal Labs and eliminate some enemies to distract the Dark Voyager.
Stay away from the Dark Voyager. That's an order.
What makes you think I take orders from you?
I stalked the Voyager through the husks of burnt-out stars and the ashes of crumbling realities. If you were easily dealt with, don't you think I would have done that by now?
We've only just met, so I don't really know what you're capable of. Get off my comms, visitor. Over and out.
The visitor tells the Order she needs to stay away from the Dark Voyager, and she asks why she would take orders from him, considering he is not the visitor she once knew. The Order has us test the 0 point shard's mysterious effects, so she says we gotta throw ourselves into the 0 point shards.
Your hubris and impatience are endangering the mission. You've become reckless. Like your sister.
The Imagined would understand the stakes here. I'm surprised you don't.
Did you learn nothing from losing her?
I learned one thing. It's better to be reckless than timid when everything is on the line. Looper, await my next call. Over and out.
This conversation from the Order and the Visitor show how different these two are when it comes to battle. The Order will do anything she can when everything is on the line, while the Visitor takes his time to study the battle before making his plan. On the 11 Legends roadmap, the 23rd had the 7 logo on it, and at 7 p.m. that day, a cryptic message was posted showing us upcoming events to happen in March. March the 7th, Audience deployed. Audience means authoritative order. so this should be very important whatever order will be given out on this day, possibly related to new storyline quests. On the 8th, it returns. This could be referring to the Dark Voyager returning with a 0-point shard. It begins on the 9th, so the next 0-point shard should be aligned with the others, and the Dark Voyager will be planning to do something with these 3 shards. On the 12th, Wave 1 destabilized 60%. This likely refers to the 0-point since destabilization has linked to the 0-point like in Season 10. The shard may be destabilizing under the pressure of whatever the Dark Voyager is doing to them. Destabilization gets worse on the 13th, and the final wave happens on the 14th. Perhaps the waves refer to reality waves like the ones we've seen in Zero Crisis, as according to leaks, several reality portals will open across the map and may even become locations in Season 2. On the 18th, we will be getting a mission recap, so maybe Fortnite will release a video recapping the storyline for this season, which I think would be an amazing thing for them to do for people to follow the story much easier. Finally, on the 19th, our priority is locating the Foundation. This is huge, and the Foundation may be arriving in Season 2 after getting the Order's distress call. The storyline in March will be huge, and I'll make sure to give a recap for March in a future video. For now, we got a few more things to go over for February. Stage 5 of our quests, the Order has us use the MK7 to eliminate opponents to test its effectiveness.
The visitor doesn't understand. How could he? He's not our visitor. He talks about failing, about losing people like it's theoretical. In his reality, the downfall of the Seven hasn't happened yet. It's not theoretical for me. I won't fail another island.
Stage 6, the Order tells us to make contact with the Dark Voyager's ship to test the shield he has around it.
Access the Dark Voyager's communications. Once we know the scope of his ambitions, we can figure out how to counter him.
In the final stage, we are sent down to Lethal Labs to hack the Dark Voyager's communications, and we get confirmation on something most of us have been speculating for a while.
Amy, scan and summarize encrypted communications.
The encrypted channel features a single message, addressed to a redacted comm. It says, "I will not fail you."
I was right. The Dark Voyager is working for someone. I need to tell the visitor and look into a few things. I'll be in touch, Looper. Things are about to get interesting.
"I will not fail you," is what the Dark Voyager says to this new mysterious person. We know he has been working for the last reality, so that much is clear, but who is he really taking orders from? There are 2 answers to this, the first one being the Nothing, since he has control over the last reality. Perhaps the Nothing gifted the Dark Voyager the power to control the golden cubes in exchange for carrying out the Nothing's orders. The second answer could be the Cube Queen, since the Dark Voyager's ship is inspired by the Cube Cradle that was controlled by the Cube Queen. And since the gold cubes are associated with the Cube Queen, maybe she's allowed the Dark Voyager to use them. I imagine we should find out this answer before next season, or hopefully before the end of the chapter. On the 28th and the last day of February, Fortnite posted a video showing the visitors landing with Hope, Jones, and the Order's POV of the event. Along with that, we also see the visitors stepping out of his rocket. This post was related to the rerun of the rocket event, and a few hours before the event, Fortnite posted an image showcasing Hope, Jones, and a new skin for the Order. The Order's new skin looks fantastic, and I love the messy hair she has instead of her traditional straight flat hair. I think this was just a good way to end off the month of February. The storyline overall this month has just been absolutely insane, and it sets up so many things to look forward to in March and Season 2. This is the best time to be following the storyline, so if you guys would like more storyline videos, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord. The link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.